Hola clase. Today's irregular preterito conjugation lesson is on types of verbs that we're going to call them raíz changing verbs. All right. Now, raíz means stem. All right. So really these are stem changing verbs. All right. So what do I mean by a stem? Well, that is the when you take off your AR, ER, or IR ending of your infinitive form, it's what you're left with. So, for example, tener, when you take away the ER, the ten is your stem or your raíz. Jugar, if you take away the AR, the jug is your stem or your raíz. All right. So, stem changing verbs, raíz changing verbs. The reason I'm calling them raíz changing verbs is instead of stem changing verbs is because sometimes you'll hear different people calling boot verbs or the chancla verbs that we talked about as stem changing verbs. So I don't want to get them confused. I want to give them their own little title. So raíz changing verbs, stem changing verbs. All right, the first thing you need to know after raíz meaning stem are the verb endings. So in the yo form, your endings, they're going to be a little bit different than what you've seen so far. They're kind of a combination of all the different types. So for the yo form, you're going to have an E with no accent mark, pronounced A. The tu form, you're going to have iste, I-S-T-E. In the el, ella, and usted form, you're going to have an O with no accent, O. For your nosotros, you'll have imos. And for your ellos, ellas, ustedes form, you're going to have hicieron or eron. We're going to see a couple that are going to get a special ending there, and I will show you those in just a bit. There's only a few that get this. The rest will get the regular hicieron. All right, so say these endings with me. Iste, o, imos, hicieron, or eron. All right, so now we're going to talk about the dirty dozen. These are going to be 12 verbs that have these raíz changes. They're not all of the verbs, but they're going to be some of the more common ones that we're going to see. All right, so I'll let you set up a chart for yourself in your notes. We're going to give you the verbo first, whatever verb it is, the raíz nuevo, the new stem. We'll give you un ejemplo en forma yo, so a yo form example, and then what the preterito is in inglés. All right, basically it's translation. All right, so the first verb of our dirty dozen is andar, which means to walk. It's a synonym to caminar. All right, so if you'd rather use caminar, that's fine, and then you don't have to worry about andar. But if you'd like to switch it up and expand some vocab, you can use andar. All right, our new raíz So remember we said that if we take away our AR, that's what we're left with. That's our raíz. Okay. So really, instead of A and D, which you would think, it's going to be a little bit different. All right. Actually going to add 2 letters. We're going to have anduv. All right. I'm going to keep these all color-coded here. So there's our raíz, anduv, and then a yo form ending here. We have the E. So our yo form would be yo anduve, which would be I walked. All right, so our pretérito in inglés for andar is walked. That's what it means. Okay. The second verb, caber, a little bit, and we could get away with probably not using this one, but we'll talk about it. It's going to mean to fit. You can use it interchangeably with quedar, when talking about clothing fit and whatnot. All right, so caber, the new raíz is going to be coop, not cup, coop. All right, and so it'd be yo coupe. Although that doesn't really make sense. More so, caber is going to be in another form, but this is just for example's sake. All right, decir, to say or to tell. In the preterito, the English would be said or told. All right. All right, your new raíz for decir is going to be di. Oh. So I want to say I said something, you'd say yo dije. All right. Remember back when I said up here that some forms get ERON in their ellos, ellas, ustedes form? Decir is one of those. So I'll put I'm going to put a purple asterisk there. And kind of off to the side, I'll write it. An example, ellos dijeron, they told. All right. All right, so that's just going to be one of the things that we have to look out for and learn. All right, our other guy over here, estar, to be. Our raíz is going to be estuve. So if you say I was, say yo estuve. Let's make this. I need to make a special note on this guy. We're going to make this in red over here. A lot of times estar will get used in the imperfecto. All right, so it's not super common to see it in this form, but it is seen. All right, a lot of times you're going to be seeing estaba or estaban or estabas. All right, all of those forms. All right. Next up, we have hacer, which means to make or to do. In the past, in the preterito, it'll be made or did. Our raíz is going to be is, but here's another little special thing. For ella usted, the form is hizo. All right, with a Z here. All right, so can you hear that? Is. All right, it all comes down to pronunciation and keeping that when spelling things out. All right, if we wrote it this way, this would be pronounced el ico, which just gibberish. All right, so el hizo, but in the yo form, we have hice. All right, this change right here of the Z, it's kind of like when we talked about the car, gar, and zar verbs, where in a zar verb, the Z changed to a C to keep that S sound. The same thing is happening here. We're actually going backwards. We're going from a C to a Z because of the vowels that follow it. All right. Next up, poder, to be able to. All right, this guy, I put a little star over here in the English section because we have a change of meaning in the preterito for some of these verbs, poder being one of them. In the positive, so if you're using poder with, just as it would be in a sentence, it's going to take on the meaning of that you managed to do something. Okay. As opposed to you could do something. So at the very bottom here, you'll see there's a couple others that have it. If you want to try to say that you could do something, we're actually going to use the imperfect form, podia. All right. So we'll come back here. Now, if we use poder negatively, all right, if we say no, and then poder in its form, we're going to mean that we failed to do it. Okay? So, let's take our form here. Poder is going to be pude. So if I say I managed to do it, yo pude. And if I say I failed, I'd say yo no pude. Okay. All right, the next poner, to put or to set. Like you could set the table or set something down. All right. In the past, it would still be put or set. Your new raíz is pus. All right. And at our ending here, yo puse. All right. So I don't hear pus. It's not puse. It's pus. Puse. Okay. Back here. Querer, to want. All right. This is another guy you can see I started here because querer also has a meaning change in the preterito. So when used affirmatively, it means you tried to do something, like I don't really want to say you wanted to do it, but I mean, you wanted to try to do it, right? But you couldn't do it. All right. You had a fail. If we wanted to say that we wanted to do something, again, we would use that imperfect form, quería. All right, come back here. However, when we use no, querer. All right, when we use querer negatively, it has a connotation that you refused to do something. Okay. All right, so our forms, quis, and in a yo form, quise, yo quise. Okay. Saber, to know, and that's to know facts or to know things. All right. In the preterito, it means that you found out something. All right. Again, if we wanted to say I knew, you would say yo sabía. All right. So, saber. Your new raíz is soup, not sup, soup. So if you want to say, I found out something, you'd say, yo supe. All right, tener, to have. All right, it's going to mean had, but we use it when the action is complete. So like you had to do something and you did, you completed it, whatever the action was. I had to go outside to get the mail. I went out, I got it, I brought it back in. All right. If we want to say that we had something over a period of time, we would use tenía. So if you're going to say, when I was younger, I had a dog, yo tenía un perro. All right, but we're going to get more into the uses between the preterito and the imperfecto later on. All right, right now we're just learning these forms. So tener, your raíz is tuv. And you guessed it, it's tuve, yo tuve. Traer, to bring, past tense would be brought. Your new raíz is traj. And, oops, changed it too early there. We have traj. With a yo form ending, traje, yo traje, I brought. Now, this is another guy that is going to take this ERON ending. Basically when you have the J there. All right. See, we have a J here. In decir, we have a J. All right. So, again, for that ellos, ellas, ustedes form, we drop the I and we just have the ERON. Ellos trajeron. Instead of trajeron, which just sounds silly. All right, if you try saying that, it's very jumbly in your mouth. It doesn't have good pronunciation. So, over time, it got dropped. Trajeron. All right. The last one here, venir, to come. Past tense would be came. Our new raíz is vin. All right. And then our yo form would be yo vine, I came. All right. So once again, we're going to go bottom to top and then just work on our pronunciations of all these new raíces. So, por favor, repiten. Bin, traj, tuv, soup, quis, pus, pud, is, estuv, dich, kup, anduv. And then our endings one more time. Iste, o, imos, ieron. And then for our special cases, eron. All right. So that is these raíz changing verbs in a nutshell. All right, we'll be getting some practice with them and getting to learn the stem changes as well as the endings that go on them. We'll get some practice with that and then move into using them in context of a sentence.